Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Asus ROG Flow Z13. I'll include a link in the description for those of you interested in purchasing one, and in full disclosure, this was not furnished to me by Asus, but rather I purchased one. In fact, I purchased it from Best Buy, the same link I'm including right now. However, the sale on this machine just ended, but I anticipate it likely will return. So this is the 64 gig model. It was $19.99, so again, $2,000 US stateside. That is just about as low as it's ever been to my knowledge. It might have been $100 less around Black Friday, but either way, it's a great deal on this machine, even when you take into account what pricing used to be like. And I say that because part of the reason I've sat out this now year-old generation of the most powerful gaming tablet is because I own the Acronym. And not only because I own the Acronym, but I also own the RTX 4090 XG mobile unit, which really turns it into a desktop class system. Now, granted, this is only a mobile 4090 in a enclosure that gives you basically all the I/O that you would expect, if I could get it into focus, from a desktop, but it does have this proprietary connector. Asus did away with that. We know the new XG Mobile 5090 is Thunderbolt 5, of course backwards compatible with Thunderbolt 4, but this machine, they did not give that Thunderbolt 5 blessing. So that kind of held me back, on top of the fact that this machine has an RTX 4070. It has an i9 Intel processor that is really optimized for everything I do in video and photo editing, and especially gaming. And because this has the RTX 4070, even if it's very low wattage, you still have that benefit of DLSS 3 and 4 support, which means that when you get into gaming, there is an advantage to be had that you just won't with this, I will say, equally powerful and in many ways more powerful AMD Strix Halo processing unit. And of course, the good old pen that came with this as well. But let me get this out of the way. I love the Acronym, but again, I want to see what the AMD shared, RAM is all about. Now, I know what it's all about. The beauty of this machine that you're going to finally see come out of the box is that it has unified RAM. So in other words, the 64 gigs that is built into this tablet you're about to see, which weighs under 3 pounds, but it's no Surface Pro, just like the Acronym that I have with its chunky machined aluminum finish. This has that 64 gigs. You can also pick this up in a 32 gig variety. I could have just peeled this. Why don't we do that? And with the 32 gig variety, that the entry level, I personally would stay away from that. Actually, we're going back to cutting it. The 64 to me, or the 128, is where you want to be. Now, I say that because my Acronym was the only model in the previous generation to have 32 gigs of soldered RAM. And that was a minimum I desired. Here, again, 32 is the base, 64 or 128 if you want the Kojima. You also get 128, and that's what replaced my Acronym. And as cool as that is, it's the opposite of my Acronym, in my opinion, because the Acronym was about giving you more horsepower, more capability, and that model at $3,700 US just doesn't do that. So what is the benefit of going with this? Because a year ago, I made a video about how I was sticking with my Acronym and instead buying the 4090 unit, and I did all of that. And there's no question that for my use case scenario, that still is overall better than what is coming out of this box. But if this really solves battery management in a tangible way, which from what I've read, it does a fairly good job of that. So if we really have a big step up in battery life, which is probably the biggest weakness of the Z13 in general, and this generation, in theory, again, not in theory, but in real world use, has gotten a little bit better, that's big. And then cooling. But as far as gaming, I'm anticipating that it's going to be about a wash with the Acronym, but really this should be a little bit better as long as we're not factoring in, again, the NVIDIA support with DLSS. Then we get into the other elephant in the room, the 200 watt power brick, which is part of the reason I didn't want to pick this up to begin with. But the good news about this machine is that even if you don't use that 200 watt brick, you still get amazing per watt performance that the Acronym in the previous generation can't pull off. So that's the other big appeal here besides the shared RAM. Now on the 128 version, keep in mind that you will not be able to use all 128 gigs of RAM for video RAM. That probably is obvious to the majority of you. If you're here, you know a little something. I believe it caps out at 98 or 99 gigs of the 128. I'm not sure how much is the the ceiling on utilization here, but I still it's going to be more than enough. And really, this addresses the 32 gig ceiling I have with the Acronym. And pretty much all the machines I run now are at 64 gigs. And if you're doing any machine learning or anything like that, obviously you're going to benefit from having more RAM. It is more situation here. But let me go ahead and open this guy. And, overall, again, it's really about what you're looking to get from your portable computing experience. I think some of you, know you need more power. And this is really going to deliver 4060 performance. Maybe in some cases we're going to get to like 4070 performance. But because my Acronym was getting far less power to its 4070, like realistically 60 watts, that's where, even though it has a 4070, this is going to have instances where it definitely outperforms the Acronym. And then it'll be interesting to see where having the extra RAM really doesn't amount to much because, do all the applications I'm using play well with AMD? And, for the most part these days they do. My desktop is an AMD system, for those of you that are wondering. But in days past, some of the mobile applications, not as silky smooth. So let's go ahead and pick that up by the little tab. I'm just going to do it a different way. I am recovering from major spine surgery, so bear with me. My hands are not the best. If you're wondering why I'm a little bit more, slow moving here, that explains a lot of it without getting too technical. Now, get around to the keyboard. Part of what's nice, and I've always preferred this, trying to slide this off rather than just rip it apart and mangle it, is that when you go with one of these, I think it's just an infinitely better choice than a portable gaming console. So even though I review those and they're incredibly popular, ever since I got the original Acronym, I made it very clear, this is the way to go. You get a screen that's 13 inches, that's actually, I think, decent to look at. This one, by the way, is supposed to be improved over my Acronym. We went up to 180 hertz refresh rate. It is still IPS. It's another reason I wasn't insta-sold. No OLED. Not that I'd be insta anything. That's ridiculous. But, not having an OLED here is something I judge them for. But it is a better display, and that 180 hertz refresh with 3 millisecond response time still should be better. But resolution is the same. I'm not really expecting a big upgrade. Plus, this doesn't have that wow factor of the Acronym. You already know that. It's not for everybody. This is definitely more subdued. It's going to get a lot less attention. And for some of you, that is going to be preferred. And I'm not trying to get attention with the Acronym. It was just the only way to get that build, the 4070 and 32 gigs of RAM. Now, the I/O here is better. That is definitely a good thing. So the kickstand, still love that construction, and build quality here feels really solid. If I go ahead, flip this around, I'm trying to remember because on the Acronym, it's a little bit easier to get to the two grab points, clutch areas, but there is the keyboard. I know I'm going to like this keyboard more than the Acronym, folks. There's not a question in my mind. The Acronym keyboard is the other area that I wish was better. This is definitely lighter than my Acronym, so that's already appealing. Trackpad is bigger. We have more of like a faux leather feel on the keyboard. It is still like a plasticky rubber, though. Don't kid yourself. But on the exterior, it has that finish that's a little more leather-like, faux leather. The trackpad is substantially larger, so I dig that. Keys feel like they have a little more travel, so that should be nice. We have our Windows compatible IR camera, webcam top center. And let's just go over the I/O quickly. I said this would be a quick unboxing, and it kind of is. So you have right here your power button, volume rocker, and then it's hard for me to even see here as I get a closer look. Then we have a Type A USB port. Bring that into focus for you as best I can. And our headphone microphone jack. Top, we have ventilation. And again, I'm expecting this to run cooler than what I experienced with the Acronym. Of course, Thunderbolt 4 ports. We have our HDMI 2.1 out. I mean, it's pretty well rounded. And of course, the charging port is there as well. And, the fit and finish on this is nice. It's not too gaudy. It's not ostentatious. And I mean, it's the opposite of my Acronym. Wouldn't we all love to avoid these stickers? But again, this is what it's all about. It's about what AMD has been able to do with integrated GPU performance here. And then the fact that the integrated GPU is delivering 4060 like, even 4070 mobile performance. But then we've got 64 gigs of RAM that can be used, not all of it, as I mentioned, but I don't know, the number has got to be very high. If it's 40 some odd gigs that you can use towards VRAM, that's going to help you in so many different facets, so many different ways. And as long as this thing can keep going, it's going to extend the lifespan of your Z13. So there's a lot to like about this. If this gets close to 10 hours of battery life, that's going to be another major appeal over my Z13. Now, I'm trying to pull this back when it's flat. It wasn't so easy. Just want to do this side by side. You'll have to excuse that my Z13 screen is going to probably be a little bit riddled, to say the least, with fingerprints right now. But you start to see just how different these two are. They have the same number of cameras. And then, of course, the keyboards are dynamically different as I just slide that up and get the kickstand out. And, if I end up being blown away by this, the end result would be, obviously, I would sell the Acronym as well as the 4090 XG Mobile. And while I wouldn't have the desktop performance, all of a sudden I would have something that can actually replace the Acronym just as a portable computer that has enough horsepower to game when I travel, because I'm not expecting 4090 performance when I travel, right? Unless I bring the XG Mobile with me. No pen comes with this, but better keyboard, better trackpad, better battery life. These things amount to a lot. If there's less fan noise, it runs cooler. Again, 64 gigs of RAM. I paid $2,500 for this at launch back in the good old days, aka 2023, when things like this weren't $3,700 like they are today, just for some fancy branding and putting a very well-respected game designer's name on it, who I think is great, but this was more symbolic of, making something that was special with higher performance and capability as being part of the reason you were spending more on it. And it was very easy to swallow that price difference. Now you're not really getting more for your money. You may as well just get the 128 gig model of this and call it a day and save yourself $1,000. But again, at $2,000, this actually is less expensive than my Acronym. 1 year removed from its launch, of course, and effectively doubles the RAM I have, but then makes it accessible for VRAM, which does make it the better portable computer over my Acronym, as long as, again, we're taking DLSS out of the picture. And I mean, photo and video editing, especially video editing, you will benefit from having that NVIDIA architecture. But I'm going to see exactly how much in my use case, because if that is the case and I can walk away, with getting rid of these two guys and putting some cash in my pocket, as much as I love the Acronym and it served me really well. I mean, I bought it right before major spine surgery, back in 23. That's when my whole journey with surgery began. Then had a second one. This was the idea. I needed portable computing power that had the ability to game, and unlike portable consoles, would not ruin my neck or give me eye strain, and that's what these are all about. To me, these are the adult portable consoles in the room that can really be laptops and full-blown photo and video editing machines in a pinch. So this is the way to travel for me. We're going to find out if AMD, just like in my desktop, has replaced Intel now in my mobile lightest, most powerful carry option. That rounds it out. Stay tuned. I will get this thing booted up, get all my gear installed. Steam, of course, if you've been watching the gaming channel, I'm a Helldiver through and through. Check that out. Hashtag PlayedTDD. That's PLAYEDTDD. And yeah, just really excited to test this out and see how good it is. I mean, in this world of portable consoles being a real thing, these are the portable consoles I'm after. And while ultimately I may miss the 4090, I don't use it as much as I had hoped for. So it kind of makes sense to possibly let it go. And, you know, this is all in mint condition. So, I mean, these I think still sell for about $2,000, somewhere thereabout. This is still going easily for $2,500. You see the math. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them at that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe and please stay safe. Later.